I know John's a huge fan of this Open, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yes. My shoulder. Yep, gotcha. From the UMBC Event Center in Baltimore, Maryland, it's America East Conference Men's Basketball on ESPN+. Tonight, it's the Binghamton Bearcats taking on the UMBC Retrievers. And hi again, everybody. Gary Stein, along with my broadcast partner, Paul Mittermeier, and we'll hear from Tyler Haley in a moment. Let's take a look at the America East Conference standings, and it was 1 month and 1 day ago, Paul, that the Retrievers were 2-6 and looking up at the conference.
A rough start for UMBC, but 5 straight victories have them in 4th place. A tie with Albany, but Gary, they have a shot to go all the way to number 2 and catch Stony Brook. They have a chance if they drop all 3, could drop all the way to 7. So it's a wide open race for the second spot in the America East. And then Binghamton, they have 3 wins. They're not out of it yet. They need to find a win in their last 2 games, climb the ladder, try to get in. Because remember, last year they knocked off Stony Brook in the first round as a 7 seed.
For UMBC, the 5-game winning streak has been a total team effort, but the catalyst has been the senior guard, KJ Jackson.
Well, Gary, we talked a lot about KJ this year, about being a complete player both offensively and defensively. Now he's added scoring to that list as well and shooting the ball real well. 60% at Vermont. He made 4 threes. He scored 18 points. If KJ is going to add the scoring to the rest of his game down the stretch, the Retrievers are going to be a dangerous team down the stretch and in the tournament.
Meanwhile, the youth movement is underway up in upstate New York, and the Bearcats have one of the most exciting sophomores in the country.
Yeah, Sam Sessoms is just an outstanding basketball player. He's got a great basketball IQ. He can make it from anywhere inside the midcourt line, 18 a game. He's also dishing out 4.9 assists per game, Gary, and really has shown the way and has matured, Coach Tommy Debs told me, tremendously as an overall basketball player in his sophomore season.
Last matchup matchup between these two teams back in January up in Vesto, New York. A three-point barrage for the home team.
Yeah, there you see 11 threes for Binghamton. And it's not just Sessoms. Richard Caldwell, Brent Mills. They've got numerous guys that can knock down the three. The Retrievers have to be very good at closing out the three defensively. They are very good. They hold their opponents during the whole season to under 30%. They're going to have to do that again tonight here against a very good Binghamton team. It's going to be a tough game tonight.
A heartbreaking loss for Binghamton. The mindset against Hartford the last time out, the mindset is so different between these two teams right now.
Yeah, psychologically, you have a UMBC team who's riding a high coming off of a win at Vermont, and a Binghamton team who really was playing extremely well, had a 26-2 lead against Hartford in their building, somehow let that slip away, lost by one with 7 seconds left. So we'll see how they come out psychologically here tonight.
First possession belongs to the green-clad Bearcats from Binghamton. There is Sam Sessoms all the way to the basket. Offensive rebound, no good by Pierre Sarr, and Brandon Horvath pulls it down for UMBC.
You see right away Sessoms' ability to get that first step, that quick first step, and get towards the basket. Just wasn't able to finish that time.
Starting five for UMBC, RJ Idlerock. Great floor game last time out against Vermont. 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. What a steady player he's been for the Retrievers. Here's Horvath now in the low post, has a mismatch with Brent Mills, takes advantage of it, and a traveling violation against UMBC.
A good mismatch on the post that time for Horvath. And Gary, that's been a big key during this 5-game winning streak as well. Horvath and Spasojevic off the bench in the interior, scoring baskets in the paint for them.
Starters for Binghamton, we talked about Sessoms. How about George Tinsley, the freshman, second in rebounding in the country, in the conference, first in the country in minutes played per game.
And Tinsley, another guy, Gary, that can knock down the three.
Three-pointer from the corner by Mills. Horvath pulls it down for UMBC. Retrievers now downhill on their second possession. UMBC 7-2 in the conference. Big road trip last week against Albany and Vermont. They destroyed the Great Danes up in Albany and then squeaked by Vermont in a great finish.
Who would have thought, you see Tommy Dempsey there for Binghamton, who would have thought the Retrievers would have won both of those games? And what were the odds, Gary, that they would have been able to do that, both those games against Albany and Vermont on the road?
Tommy Dempsey in his 8th season at Binghamton, 22nd overall, 17th as a head coach, 273 career wins. He really inherited a program that was on the down here, and the youth movement really gives them optimism in Binghamton. Retrievers can't connect there, and the rebound pulled down along the baseline by Sarr.
There you see, nice job by Sessoms to get into the lane and distribute, find his teammates, and Tinsley pays it off with a three.
And there is George Tinsley, the freshman from Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, was a 3-time Class 5A All-State player in the state of Pennsylvania, and he's got the first three here tonight.
Coach Dempsey told me, he said he's done a nice job of understanding that the defense is going to collapse on him and then finding his teammates. And you saw right there, led to the first three of the game for Binghamton.
10 to shoot here. Horvath with a three-pointer. That's too long. Sarr pulls it down. The Retrievers right now 0 for 2 with a turnover on their 3 possessions. Retrievers lead this all-time series 18-16. UMBC has won 4 straight here at home and 6 in a row until January. Here's a steal. KJ Jackson finishes at the rim.
There you go, good defense by UMBC. KJ steps into the passing lane and makes the steal there. It's interesting, his steals are down this year, Gary, but he talked to me, he said, you know, coaches told me not to take as many chances, not to gamble as much, and to just play sound defense with my teammates, and it's really worked out well. That time, though, he was able to get in the passing lane and make the steal.
1.5 steals per game, 9th in the conference. They throw it away along the baseline, and it'll be a turnover. Here's Ryan Odom for UMBC, and Paul, once again, he has his team playing their best basketball in the month of February.
Absolutely, and you know, you look at all of the injuries, everything that's happened to this team, the start that they had, would have been easy for them to just kind of hang their heads and pack it in. Instead, they put their heads down, worked hard, and got back to where they are right now.
LJ Owens rattles around, no good. Rebound up ahead for Sarr, leads the field and lays it up and in.
What a pass by Sessoms. Dangerous, risky pass there. It's an all-or-nothing pass. It was a great one, though, that found the hands of Sarr for him to finish.
First assist for Sessoms. Sarr's first 2 points. Binghamton on top by 3. 16.5 left to go in the first half. There's Idle Rock left open from 3, and that's become a huge part of his game.
RJ just knocking down shots for UMBC, and Binghamton's going to sit in that 2-3 zone as long as they can. UMBC got to make them pay with good passing to the interior and then make those three-point shots. RJ did it right there for the Retrievers.
The sophomore is a 40% three-point shooter in conference play. Strong take to the basket by Caldwell, won't go. Horvath pulls down his 3rd rebound for UMBC. A take by Jackson along the sideline. A turnover and a timeout called. We'll take one here with 15:54 left to go. 5-5 is the score as KJ Jackson leads the troops to the UMBC sideline.
The new $3 Little John from Jimmy John's is just like our original sandwiches, only littler. So we bought a little ad on Lil John.
Little John, yeah! $3, what?
This is a Jimmy John's sandwich made with all natural meats, hand-sliced veggies, and fresh-baked bread. And this is the new Little John, available for only $3. They're almost identical. Almost. Good job. Okay.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers, whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
America East Conference basketball is brought to you by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. This is the second meeting between these two teams. The Bearcats beat UMBC 79-75 back in January. For a look back and a look ahead, let's head over to the bench. Tyler Haley standing by. Tyler?
Thanks, Gary. KJ Jackson in the last matchup between these two teams went 0 for 5 from the floor, scoring 0 points, while Binghamton guard duo Brenton Mills and Sam Sessions combined for 42 points. UMBC is going to want to look to flip the script on that and hopefully ride KJ Jackson's momentum from Vermont game, where he scored 18 points, including the last 8 of the game. Back to you guys.
Good job, Tyler. You know, you look at KJ, we talked about his play, and really not just in Vermont knocking down the threes, but getting to the basket and finishing. He had a huge bucket late in the second half where he got all the way to the glass and finished between two defenders. They're going to need that again tonight against Binghamton.
Jackson had 4 3-pointers against Vermont. That was a season high. His previous high was only 2 in any one single game so far this year. Both teams with a couple of turnovers early. The Retrievers have traveled with the basketball twice. Here's Pierre Sarr with a double team. Jackson with help with Aachen. 8 to shoot now for Binghamton.
Kind of a groan from the fans. They wanted to travel there on Sarr. The referee said he didn't shuffle.
Sessoms floats one over Aachen right straight away, and Binghamton with the 3-point lead.
Like I said, Gary, from anywhere, at any time, Sam's going to pull the trigger, and most times he's going to make it.
And speaking of the 3, here's Horvath, no good. Sessoms the rebound underneath. Talk about 3-pointers, 3-point reliance. In other words, the percentage of 3-pointers, and there's Sessoms again, just to finish the thought. The percentage of 3-point shots that Binghamton takes, it's the 5th highest mark in the country.
Crazy, living by the 3, and a lot of times you live by the 3, die by the 3. It allows you to get on the big spurts. It also, though, if you don't make them, allows teams to get back into games.
And L.J. Owens with an answer for UMBC. That's his first 3, and the Retrievers trail by 3.
And UMBC has to be careful that they don't get into this back and forth 3-point shot. They're much more effective going into the paint. We'll see if the Retrievers stay with that defensively.
Hard screen from Pierre Sarr, and Sessoms takes advantage.
8 points in, what, 35 seconds?
That's what he does. 2 3-pointers in the drive. Sessoms with 8 of the 13 for Binghamton. And Aachen with a shot up and no good underneath. Rebound Binghamton. Drive this way by Richard Caldwell, and a foul called underneath.
A frustration foul on Caldwell after he missed the shot. Went over the top on Dan Ocken and picked up the foul.
The senior guard out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Substitution now for Binghamton. Number 1, Håkon Hjalmarsson checks in from Iceland. One of only 3 Icelanders in the country playing D1 ball, as you take a look here. That is the first foul of the game, and we're 6 minutes in.
Check that, it wasn't on Caldwell, it was on Tinsley inside, who grabbed Ocken on the interior.
First team foul on Binghamton. UMBC yet to commit. Idle Rock, little floater from the foul line, no good. Tip in, no good. Horvath keeps it alive and banks it in.
The Hartford game, the disappointment for Binghamton, 26 second chance points for Hartford in that game, 17 offensive rebounds. There's the first time that the Retrievers make Binghamton pay on the glass.
Horvath first 2, Sessoms over Horvath, his third three-pointer.
Now, it's safe to say Sam Sessoms is on fire right now.
11 of the 16 belongs to the sophomore. And it's a 6-point lead for the visitors. And there you see it, 3 for 3 from downtown for the super sophomore, who was, by the way, the Rookie of the Year last year in the America East. He exploited for 39 the other night in a Binghamton win. It's the most in a regulation game. That was in overtime. He had 40, which is also the record for Binghamton. Foul called underneath. This one will be on Saar. That's his first.
And that's a nice job by Idle Rock to force contact there as he went to the basket around the screen and picked up the foul on Saar. Well, watch that. The other big story in Hartford was, against the game against Hartford, was Saar got into foul trouble and really made it tough on Binghamton inside in the paint in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
Dan Petcash, a freshman guard from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, has checked in for Binghamton. UMBC with 10 to shoot. Idle Rock on Yarmelson, comes back outside. Dmitry Spazajevich has checked in. Rattles out for Owens, and the rebound Sessom.
A tough bounce there for the Retrievers. Another good outlet pass by Sessom.
Oh, look at that catch and go. Rebound Horvath as Sessoms couldn't finish. Idle Rock pops. This one goes over the glass. Rebound pulled down along the baseline by Tinsley.
I think the pace right now definitely favors the Bearcats. They want to get up and down the floor.
Sessoms with the kick out. Tinsley, corner pocket 3, does not get the roll. Nice box out by Idle Rock.
You talked about the steady floor player that RJ is. That's a great box out by Idle Rock.
Straight away for Idle Rock. That's 2 in a row, missed. Rebound to Petcash, and Sessoms decides to slow it down.
That's what I was talking about, just getting into a 3-point battle instead of working the ball into the paint. Dmitry Spazajevich has been so good for the Retrievers inside scoring points. They need to figure that out and get the ball in the box to him.
Tinsley throws it away with 11:43 left to go in the half. A timeout here with the Bearcats on fire from 3. They're 4 for 6, and they lead by 6. Back after this. Back at you here from the Event Center, the visiting Binghamton Bearcats on top of UMBC 16-10. Paul, you made the point earlier, sometimes live by the three, die by the three. Take a look at the difference in conference play between these two teams when it comes to the three-point line.
Well, and this is the point I was trying to get to is, Binghamton's made 127 threes in conference play. UMBC's 86. You don't want to get into a three-point shooting contest here with this team. And I think UMBC's kind of slipped into that a little bit over the last couple minutes. Bingham's going to make theirs. You have to make your living offensively, getting the ball inside to Horvath, to Akin, and to Spasojevic. And if they're going to Spaso, if they're going to collapse on those guys, then you kick it out, but let them go to work on the box against a smaller Binghamton team.
And to your point, the Retrievers have attempted 8 three-pointers in this game, and Binghamton 6. Not what Ryan Odom would want, I am sure. UMBC now with the basketball, trailing by 6. You see the three-point field goal percentages there. Better than 50% for Binghamton, 25% for UMBC. 15 to shoot here for the Retrievers. Keandre Kennedy, who's seen some increased action in the last 3 games, has checked in for UMBC. Here's Spasojevic now in the post. And shooting up and over Yarden Willis, and that's what UMBC wants.
All day, Gary. You patiently pass the ball around the perimeter, wait till Spasojevic can get a good position into the box, and he just backs Willis down with an easy little hook shot for 2.
Three-pointer up and in as Binghamton continues to light it up from outside. This time it's Tinsley, and he's got 6. And the Bearcats will trade that every day. Keandre Kennedy from 3. And he is on fire in the last 2 weeks.
Wow. Nice little crossover by Jackson, and then when the defense collapsed, kicked it back out. Horvath finally corralled it, and then Kennedy bangs one down from the corner.
Kennedy's 17th three-pointer this season off the bench for UMBC, had 6 points in 11 minutes, including a big three-pointer against Vermont on Saturday afternoon, or Saturday evening, I should say. And this one out of bounds off Binghamton.
It's off
it'll
UMBC.
Stay with Binghamton.
Tough break there, hit off of Brandon Horvath. He lost track of the ball, and it went out of bounds behind him, so we'll get the 20-second shot clock for the Bearcats.
4-point game as Willis gets the inbounds. Now into the hands of Sessoms. Willis, the 7-footer from Roswell, Georgia. Yarmelson will drive on Owens. Counted in a foul, and Yarmelson will go to the line.
Got a step, and then with a nice finish there, so he'll get a conventional chance at the three-point play.
First foul on L.J. Owens as you see the native of Iceland go to the basket. 6'3", 175 from Reykjavik, Iceland. Again, one of 3 Icelanders playing D1 basketball.
So much like the Hartford game, Binghamton's offense starts this one on fire. 21 points in the first 9.5 minutes. They were up on Hartford with 26-2 with 11.5 minutes left in the first half.
Yarmelson completes the three-point play. It's a 7-point lead, and for a team that suffered a heartbreaking loss the other day at home, they've come out with a lot of confidence in this game.
Yeah, talking to Coach Dempsey before the game, talked about the psychological aspect of things, and he said he was concerned. Obviously, when you lose that tough a game in your place, you want to know how your players are going to come out and respond. He said they did an awesome job this week in practice. Monday was a great practice. He said they actually picked him up because he was a little down. His team picked him up, and they've come out and hasn't missed a beat here the first 10 minutes of the game.
Well, that's 2 quick fouls now on Yarden Willis, the 7-footer from Roswell, Georgia. The freshman seeing his first action. Team free throw percentage, Spasojevic at the line. The Retrievers are last in the conference at 63.5%. Spasojevic himself only a 49% shooter, but the first one is good.
Yeah, that's the other kind of storyline from that Vermont game, right? Was UMBC's ability to shoot free throws in that game, because when you talk about a one-basket game, UMBC was outstanding, I think over 90% in that game from the line.
Retrievers have been much better over the last 4 games, 80% overall. J.J. Brown checks in for Binghamton, sitting down as Willis now with 2 fouls. Spasojevic connects on both. He's got 4, and it's a 5-point game.
A much smaller lineup now without Sars or Willis in the lineup for Binghamton.
Good hands by Jackson, coast to coast. And another steal and basket for KJ.
Big time points, as well as Binghamton shooting the basketball. They have some live ball turnovers that have led to easy baskets for UMBC and allowed UMBC to be right in the game.
2 steals for Jackson, 2 baskets off steals, 4 points total. 2-point attempt taken by Tinsley, gets his own rebound and keeps it alive. Tinsley, a force to be reckoned with, just a freshman, 7.5 rebounds a game, second in the conference.
Yeah, Coach Dempsey has some real good players.
Tipped by Kennedy, boy, can he get up. And UMBC's got it, moving downhill. Here's Jackson, penetrating. Can't finish, Horvath fighting hard. Horvath will go to the line for UMBC.
Nice work by Brandon inside. KJ couldn't finish, but Horvath keeps it alive. And on both ends, really, Gary, how about the defensive side of the floor where Kennedy just does a nice job of keeping the ball alive to his teammate, and then here Horvath battling on the offensive glass.
Brandon Horvath goes to the line. That's the second foul on Tinsley. So Binghamton's got to be careful here. Tinsley's got 2, Willis has 2 of their big guys. Horvath in his junior year from West River, Maryland. That's Anne Arundel County, just south of Baltimore. Substitutions here as Petcash and Tinsley sit down. Sarr checks back in. Caldwell checks back in for Binghamton.
Tough times here for Coach Dempsey. He's going to make some tough decisions here with some of his players.
We'll see how long Tinsley stays out. There's 9:05 left in the first half. 1 of 2 for Horvath. That's a 2-point game.
Retrievers change up to D, 1-3-1 now. And Binghamton a little confused.
Underneath, looks like they'll get Spasojevic here on the baseline. The transfer from East Carolina. Good presence off the bench for UMBC.
Wow, I'd say little hand check foul.
Shot clock at 20, ball in for Binghamton now. And the Bearcats not playing like a 3-11 team in the conference. Hands in the passing lane for Jackson, deflects it out of bounds. 12 to shoot now for Binghamton.
That's a nice backdoor cut. And that's a great defensive recovery by the Retrievers.
Yarmelson tries a quick inbounds for Sarr underneath. And a foul called on Kennedy for UMBC. That'll be his first. Only the 3rd committed as Tommy Dempsey looks on.
Reset the clock to 20.
Here's Brown on a drive. Back outside now with 10 to shoot for the Bearcats. Four to shoot. Gonna have to get rid of it. Sessoms blocked by Jackson, and a shot clock violation against Binghamton.
Gary, I know that Sessoms has kind of lit it up here in the first half, but you got to give KJ Jackson credit for his defensive play. He's gotten a couple turnovers that have led to easy layups for him. He gets a block shot there. Great awareness by KJ of where the shot clock is. He doesn't overcommit, allows Sessoms to leave his feet first, and then gets up and blocks the shot.
It's interesting you talk about the blocks. KJ Jackson now, that's his 15th block shot of the season. He leads UMBC in that category. The guard, 6'2". Horvath all the way to the basket, and he lays it in.
A great entry pass by Owens to the high post. And really, that's where you can make your living off this 2-3 zone. If Horvath can get into that area right around that high post to the elbow and start doing some damage.
Horvath with 5, and we're tied at 22. It was a 6-point lead moments ago for Binghamton. A kick ball here against Spasojevic, and a timeout on the floor. 7:49 left to go in the half. Binghamton 22, UMBC 22. Let's see what Ryan Odom has up his sleeve. Back after this.
In our gym, in our league, we always feel our fans. And we've given them plenty to root for. But it didn't start with us. America East has always had great players, coaches, teams, and they've given us big moments.
Comes out to Hooley for the win.
Big upsets.
Sorrentine from the parking lot.
Actually, the biggest.
Shock and awe in college basketball.
We've made history, made the grade, made the pros. America East, it's what you've been rooting for all along.
The world needs innovators, big thinkers, to build better batteries and expand our knowledge of the human brain. Cutting-edge problem solvers who can code, solve ancient puzzles, design really cool robots. Leaders in their professions who will use their knowledge and experience to improve life across the globe. That's where Binghamton comes in.
Coca-Cola has been refreshing Baltimore for more than 100 years. Today, Coca-Cola Consolidated makes and serves over 300 of the world's best brands and flavors locally. We're honored to partner with some amazing schools and teams. Some say you can't bottle this kind of passion, but we do it every day for you. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Back at you here from the UMBC Event Center. The Bearcats are number 23 in the country in three-pointers made per game, and we're seeing that firsthand here tonight.
Yeah, 5 already, and we talked about it. Sessoms can shoot. Watch this from Sessoms. A couple dribbles over the timeline and just pulls up from about 22, 23, knocks it down. Tinsley's been good, although he's in foul trouble right now. And the Binghamton Bearcats 5 of 8. You know, you're shooting 63%, but you look up and it's 22 all, and that's because over this little stretch here the last 4 minutes, the Retrievers have done a nice job of getting the ball inside and going to work on the interior.
And to that point, Paul, the Retrievers on a 7-0 run in the last 2:18, almost exclusively inside. And there you look at the difference for UMBC. We mentioned the 5-game winning streak. It really starts with UMBC's defense.
Oh, no question. And in key spots as well. You go back to that Vermont game, getting stops down the stretch. You go back to that first game of the season. Remember, Gary, against UMass Lowell? I think they scored on like 13 straight possessions at the end of the game. That has been repaired defensively for the Retrievers.
And with that note, Richard Caldwell finds a spot inside the defense, his first 2, and Caldwell gives Binghamton the 2-point lead. Here's Kennedy now for UMBC. Kennedy's minutes have dramatically increased the last 3 games. 59 minutes in his last 3 games, 60 in his previous 7. And he has produced for UMBC.
Talk about key moments. Had a big 3 against Vermont, and then scored a driving layup. And then earlier in this first half, when Binghamton went on their run, it was Keandre Kennedy that hit the big 3 after Spazojevich scored to kind of get the Retrievers back into it.
Last home game, UMBC fans will remember, against UNH, 2 big blocks for Kennedy off the bench. Here's Horvath now inside as the Retrievers again continue to feed the post.
Let's see who this foul's on. Foul's on number 5.
That'll be Pierre Sarr. That's his second.
Now, Tinsley was in there too. He's back in the game with 2 fouls. Both those guys were in there.
Sessom's acrobatic play. Can he keep it alive? He does. Right in front of us. Caldwell with the penetration. And the putback no good. And Kennedy pulls it down for UMBC.
Retrievers dodge a bullet there. Tough inbounds pass. Great play by Sessoms.
There's a wing 3 from Owens, too long. Kennedy battling hard, but he gives the ball up on the floor. Sessoms in transition, the kick out. Yarmelson will travel with it in the corner.
That's great hustle transition defense to get back on Sessoms and force it out of his hands and then get a turnover. So really 2 good opportunities for Binghamton off of a turnover and then a defensive rebound, and they can't cash in on either one.
Yarmelson sits down for Binghamton. That's the 7th turnover against the Bearcats. The Retrievers have committed 4 with 6:46 left to go in the half.
I think Sam Sessoms broke the scores table over here.
Yeah, you may have heard the bang when he stole the pass about midcourt. LJ Owens out for UMBC. RJ Idlerock has checked back in. Idlerock with 3 points in 8 minutes here in the first half. Open 3 for Kennedy, corner pocket. Rebound comes down to Caldwell.
Really love to see the Retrievers go back inside with all the bigs for Binghamton in foul trouble.
Tinsley can't finish. Good defense by Horvath. Idlerock leads the break. Jackson wide open. KJ Jackson with 7. The Retrievers have the lead.
You just can't turn down open shots, though. That's the 2nd time a Retriever's been wide open in the corner. And this time Jackson knocks it down.
Retrievers are 4 for 12 from beyond the arc. Binghamton shooting 63%. They're 5 of 8, but they trail by 1. Low post, Tinsley with a mismatch on Idlerock. They kick it outside. Spin move by Mills. 3 to shoot. Blocked from behind. line, and another shot clock violation.
Great help defense by Spazajevich. There is the penetration happens as Spazajevich collapses on the other side and actually got a piece of the ball.
Take a look here.
See as Dimitri collapses and gets a piece of the ball to help Keandre out there defensively.
4 turnovers for Binghamton in the last 4 minutes plus. They've got 8 for the game. Spazajevich trying to work his magic on the baseline. Floater is good! 4 for Spazajevich.
See, Sarge is just in a tough spot because he doesn't want to commit a foul, but really if you don't give any resistance to Spazajevich, he's just going to go right to where his spot is and make that shot all day long.
And correction on that, 6 now for Spazajevich. There's Tinsley for 3. That one is way off as Horvath was lurking. Here's Jackson. And he got caught up in traffic, deflected away by Sarr into the hands of Tinsley.
Yeah, good defensive hands there for Binghamton on the transition.
Ball fake by Sarr, drive, defense, Horvath out of bounds, off Sarr.
A good help defense by Horvath. Spazajevich went for the pump fake. If you let Sarr shoot that ball from 3, but instead Dimitri goes for the pump fake, and a nice collapse there by Horvath to help out on defense.
Another turnover for the Bearcats. 6 fouls for the Bearcats team-wise. UMBC just with 3. Points off turnovers, UMBC 10, Binghamton 3.
There's the matchup again.
Spazajevich, middle block, turns inside, banks it in. 8 for Spazajevich. And a timeout called by Tommy Dempsey. And we'll take one too with 4:20 left to go. The Retrievers on a run. It's 7-0 over the last 150, 14-2 over the last 5 minutes plus. Back at you here from the event center. Bench scoring in this game. The Retrievers 11-3, and 8 of those, Paul, from this guy, 32, Spazajevich.
Let's talk about, and let's take a look at some really good post play offensively from Dimitri Spazajevich. As he has gotten the Binghamton Bearcats in foul trouble, and now has really taken over inside because they have to be passive down there. They want to pick up another foul. The third foul would be for Sarge or Tinsley, and Spazajevich really has taken advantage down on the blocks.
Spazajevich for the season shooting 60.1%. That is #1 in the America East Conference. Tonight, he's 3 for 3 in this game. He also had a perfect 5 for 5 against Vermont on Saturday.
And I didn't even realize this until I looked at the numbers either, Gary. We know and we recognize Dimitri and what he's done offensively throughout the last few games, but Dan Ocken as well, even though he hasn't had as good of an offensive season, he's still shooting 57% from the field when he does take shots. So they're really getting solid production from their big men underneath.
It was 22-15 Binghamton about 6 minutes ago, and now The Retrievers have turned the tables. Turnovers, as you see, have been an issue for Binghamton. At one point, they had 3 consecutive in 3 possessions. Three-pointer from the corner, no good, taken by Caldwell, and the ball goes over to UMBC.
Another great penetration there by Sessoms to kick out for a wide-open 3, but all of a sudden now Binghamton hasn't been able to knock him down.
They're cold 1 for their last 9. Meanwhile, the Retrievers are 3 for their last 3. There's Ricky Council, his first appearance inside for who else? Spasojevic.
Oh, great job. You know, Ricky didn't settle for the 3 that time. He drove down the lane, let the defense collapse, and then again, here we go, Spasojevic wide open in the paint.
6'8", 240 out of Serbia, a junior transfer, has 10 points in 11 minutes off the bench. Retrievers by 7. Spasojevic leads the Retrievers with those 10 points. Sessoms from way downtown, his 4th tonight.
Sam Sessoms keeping Binghamton in the game by himself.
14 points for the sophomore. And again, he had 39 the other night in their win over UML.
And Retrievers, you don't get discouraged. You keep doing what you do. Get the ball inside of the paint.
Kennedy, baseline, quick move. Can't finish, rebound. Tinsley picks it up.
Well, Keandre there, everything but.
Sessoms holds the Binghamton record as he line drives one in like a pile driver. He's got 16 to finish the point. Sessoms holds the record for most points in a regulation game with 39 and most points in an overtime game in Binghamton history with 40.
There's 5 more in, what, 35 seconds.
And he can do it. Pull-up jumper, air ball. Spasojevic keeps it alive. Shot clock continues, though, with 12. And let's see what the official call is here.
We're going to get a foul here, maybe on Caldwell. Over the back on Spasojevic. Let's see. Yep.
It is. That is the first on Caldwell. Let's take a look.
Now Spasojevic, I think, is going to go to the free throw line. With the 17th foul?
Yeah, it should be 1 and 1. Retrievers have only committed 3 here in the first half. Horvath will check back in for UMBC. And Keandre Kennedy will sit down. Again, Kennedy, nice contribution off the bench. 3 points, 3 rebounds, and assist in 9 minutes. Here's Spasojevic again. Hits the top end of the 1 and 1.
That's the other thing too, Gary, when you get the bigs involved early and they start making shots, get a lot more comfortable shooting the basketball just in general, which makes it a lot easier to shoot free throws.
Spasojevic 3 for 3 from the line. Retrievers, the worst free throw shooting team in the conference, but in the last 4 games, before tonight, and another one for Spasojevic, 80% from the free throw line. Akin back in, Spasojevic sits down with 12 first half points.
Good work.
Retrievers up by 4, 2:20 left. Sessom's been a one-man wrecking crew for Binghamton. They leave him open. This one a little long. Horvath off the tip.
Oh, he checked that time for Sessoms. That was about 26 feet.
Jackson, hesitation. Nice box out by Sarr in front of Akin. Sessoms, 3rd in the conference in scoring, 18.6 per game. He's already got 16 in the first 19 minutes in this one.
Oh, good ball movement, yeah.
Little one-hand floater off the glass and in by Mills. His first 2.
You can see the attention that Sessom gets. Just opens up so many more avenues for his teammates.
Mills from Allen, Texas, a freshman, 6'3", 185. Led his Allen High School team to the Texas State Championship as a senior. And that's football country down there. They play some good basketball too. Here's Idle Rock up and under. And rebound comes down to Caldwell. Here's Caldwell on the receiving end. And Binghamton has a 1-point lead.
Well, just like that, Binghamton gets hot and grabs the lead here at the end of the first half.
You talk about hot, the Bearcats 7 of 13 from the arc. Council, corner 3 off the side of the glass. The Retrievers have gone cold now for a bit with Spazajevich out. And Sessoms will slow it down with about 40 seconds left. UMBC no field goals now in the last 3 minutes plus. Tinsley. Boy, they have no conscience, have they?
I don't know if Coach Dempsey loved that shot. That's a little rushed. At the, they had time. It didn't matter because the Retrievers, regardless, were going to get the last possession into the half anyway. That was just kind of a rush shot by a freshman, kind of a freshman mistake there.
So Ryan Odom calls a timeout. As you see, virtually no difference, less than a second between game clock and shot clock. So in effect, the Retrievers will play for the last shot here, trailing Binghamton by 1. Binghamton 7 of 14 from downtown, 50%. Retrievers are 4 for 13, just 30%. Sessoms leads the way with 16 for the Bearcats, and Dmitry Spazajevich has been the story for UMBC. 12 points off the bench, 4 of 4 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line.
Well, let's give some credit too to Coach Dempsey. He didn't sit his guys. He let Tinsley play, he let Sars play, and they've been able to get through this half with just those 2 fouls. And they made an impact here, getting Binghamton back in the game.
Again, Spazajevich is the leading field goal percentage shooter in the conference. 60.1%, and he's done nothing to hurt that. In fact, he's improved it here tonight.
Now, Dempsey tried to get Willis in the game for Tinsley, but they wouldn't let him. Let's see if that plays to be a factor here in the last possession.
The Retrievers getting 12 points from Spazajevich tonight. The Retrievers guards, Jackson, Owens, and Idlerock, have a combined 12, or 13, I should say.
The Retriever guards have done a nice job getting to the basket, but a little out of control.
Inside 5, Idlerock all the way to the basket, and it goes. And RJ Idlerock to the line.
There's a finish for you right there. Much better job by RJ on that drive to the basket.
RJ Idlerock, the sophomore from England. Take a look. First foul on J.J. Brown. Idlerock, a 76% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Retrievers with a 1-point lead. Kennedy in, Owens out. 3.8 left on the clock.
Oh, good rebound by
foul
Hawkins.
underneath.
He picked up the foul, and all of a sudden, I think that's on Brown.
Second quick one. Now, Dan Ocken, you'll notice as we take a look here at the foul.
He did a nice job of beating him inside.
Ocken, not a great free throw shooter, 37%. And we've noticed in the last few games how quickly he'll catch it and shoot.
I don't think that's helped him. Even the ones he's missed, he hasn't missed by much. He's had much better form.
Don't think, just shoot. 50% on that one, and a foul call.
It's okay. Retrievers have fouls to give.
This one on Kennedy. Yeah, there is some confusion. The Bearcats were moving the ball up the floor.
They just expected that the Retrievers
were in foul situation.
We're in a bonus situation, but they weren't. Sessoms will shoot from anywhere.
Midcourt this time. Oh, yeah, it had a look, didn't it?
He's got that ability to shield with his body as he lets the ball go. So really, it's tough to defend no matter where he is on the court. And he's always going to get the shot off.
What a first half. The Retrievers 36, the Bearcats 34. UMBC led by Dmitry Spazajevich with 12 off the bench. Sam Sessoms, the super sophomore, 16 for Binghamton. And again, Binghamton doing a lot of their damage from downtown. Let's head over to Tyler Haley with Coach Odom. Tyler, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Odom. Coach, in the first half, Sam Sessoms has been able to shoot from his will beyond the arc. How will you guys be able to limit that in the second half?
Yeah, obviously what we're doing right now is not working, so we're going to have to regroup here and figure out what we can do. I mean, he's done this on most teams, quite honestly. He's a really, really good player. We've got to find a way to get him inside the line without him being able to walk into threes. We got to get more help to him. And then the problem is we got to recover back to some of these other guys that can shoot too, but clearly, we're not doing a good job right now.
And Coach, your bigs have been able to drive into the paint and get some good looks at the rim and have been able to draw contact and get to the free throw line. Tell me about the impact that's had on the game thus far and the impact it can have in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Dmitry has done a nice job at around the rim. The guys have found a way in the switching zone that they've got going on getting the ball inside and not settling. We did settle for too many jump shots early on in the half, and then we settled in and started getting the ball to Meach, a little more regularly. We got to stick with that, and hopefully we'll have some more success.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Gary, it's just, you look at when everything changed in that half. Binghamton got out early. It was like a three-point contest between Binghamton and UMBC, and the Retrievers aren't winning that battle. And once UMBC focused the offense on getting the ball into the paint and getting into Spazajevich, everything changed offensively for them.
UMBC 36, the Bearcats of Binghamton 34. We'll take a timeout. Halftime here at the Event Center. Back for more as we continue on ESPN+.
In our gym, in our league, we always feel our fans. And we've given them plenty to root for. But it didn't start with us. America East has always had great players, coaches, teams, and they've given us big moments.
Comes out to Hooley for the win.
Big upsets.
Sorrentine from the parking lot.
Actually, the biggest.
Shock and awe in college basketball.
We've made history, made the grade, made the pros. America East is what you've been rooting for all along.
My anxiety kind of spiked through the roof, and I started having depressive symptoms, and it got to the point where I couldn't function anymore.
We've been really privileged to have some courageous student athletes, but also invested administrators and coaches.
It's okay to be sad. It's okay to have anxiety.
There's nothing more important than the health and safety of our student athletes, and I think the mental health initiative is one that we're going to continue to build on and make a difference in all of our student athletes' lives across the league.
The new $3 Little John from Jimmy John's is just like our original sandwiches, only littler. So we bought a little ad on Lil John.
Little John, yeah! $3, what?
It's important anywhere to spread respect, no matter where you're from. I mean, this is a safe place and you can be yourself.
Nobody has to not be who they are. You can be who you are, whether it's gay, straight.
It's about race, it's about religion and all that.
You can learn so much, about yourself when you're with somebody else that's not like you and a little bit different.
We all need to respect each other. We're all humans.
Love each other, be kind to each other.
And really just treat everyone the same.
Coca-Cola has been refreshing Baltimore for more than 100 years. Today, Coca-Cola Consolidated makes and serves over 300 of the world's best brands and flavors locally. We're honored to partner with some amazing schools and teams. Some say you can't bottle this kind of passion, but we do it every day for you. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
This is a Jimmy John sandwich made with all natural meats, hand-sliced veggies, and fresh baked bread. And this is the new Little John, available for only $3. They're almost identical. Almost. Good job. Okay.
Halftime here at the Event Center. The Retrievers on top of the Binghamton Bearcats 36-34. Maybe some younger potential future Retrievers are out on the floor right now. What a first half, though. Great shooting from both teams. UMBC led by Dmitry Spazajevich with 12, all from inside, 4-4 from the field. And Sam Sessoms, the big gun for Binghamton, 4 three-pointers, 16 points in the first half for the Bearcats. We'll take a timeout here. When we return, another installment of UMBC's Grit Ambassadors as halftime continues at the Event Center on ESPN+. And UMBC students enjoying their night off here tonight at the Event Center, rooting on their school team. The Retrievers leading the Binghamton Bearcats by 2 at half. Now time to hear from one of UMBC's Grit Ambassadors. Grit Ambassadors represent UMBC's athletics core values of growth, respect, integrity, and teamwork on and off the field. Tonight we'll hear why Lexi Roberts from the lacrosse team is proud to be a Grit Ambassador.
What's up, Retriever Nation? I'm Lexi Roberts from the women's lacrosse team, and I'm proud to be a Grit Ambassador. I would say respect means most to me, because if you don't respect yourself, then how do you respect your coaches and your teammates, and then how do you have integrity with that, and then teamwork along with that, and growth. You can't grow and respect or have integrity if you can't respect yourself and your teammates. It's important to me to be a great teammate because the people below you look up to you for that, and that way your teammate has someone that they can trust, and it just kind of makes everyone closer and builds a better environment for your team. An obstacle I'm most proud of would probably be starting here, starting with a new kind of family and having to create that family aspect. Definitely hasn't been easy, but I've come so far. I can't imagine being anywhere else, and I've grown so much here. So I hope that in 5 years I will continue my path through biology, which is my major, and become an anesthesiologist. That's my dream job. So hopefully, if all the cards fall into place, I'll get there. I would say, if I could put it into one word, our team, and myself included, we're a family. We are so close. I treat those girls like my sisters, and I wouldn't want to be out there with anyone else every single day. So.
Lexi Roberts, the junior goalkeeper from Baldwin, Maryland. Women's lacrosse 2-2 on the year. They have a big game on Saturday at Temple. Speaking of the women, how about the UMBC women tonight up in Binghamton, trailing the Bearcats 26-18. Start of the third quarter up in Vestal, New York. We'll take a timeout. When we return, Paul and I will have stats and highlights as men's basketball continues here. It's a 2-point lead for the hometown team. Gary Stein, Paul Mittermeier back with you at the half. UMBC on top of Binghamton 36-34. And right now you've got the dueling banjos. You've got Sessoms for Binghamton and you've got Spasojevic for UMBC.
Yeah, what a half for Sam Sessoms as he got it started early and often as he unleashes the surprise three a couple times, pulls up on Jackson. And then also on Horvath, he was the equal opportunity three-point shooter, taking everybody there, takes Horvath to the basket. This is my favorite one, little half hook shot off the glass. Sam Sessoms was on fire in that first half. But how do you answer that, Gary? With what we've seen UMBC do over the past couple games, inside. Dimitriy Spasojevic, 12 points, he's 4 for 4, little resistance on the inside here. As you see, a great pass from Ricky Council, little half hook in the paint there. So let's mix it up some more, boys. And Dimitriy has been the offensive key for UMBC in that first half. You look at the numbers, of course, as we expected, Binghamton made more threes than UMBC in that first half. But you take a look at bench points, huge advantage for the Retrievers, and then points to the paint as well. And the other stat I want to point out, points off turnovers. Couple live ball turnovers led to KJ Jackson buckets. UMBC leads that category 10-3, and a big part of why they have a 2-point lead at the half.
2 steals for KJ Jackson, 7 points. And there you have the story on the first half. Timeout here. UMBC leads Binghamton by 2. We'll be back with our second half right after this. Second half about to get underway here at the Event Center. Tight ball game, UMBC by 2 at the break. Let's head over to Tyler Haley for some halftime intel. Tyler?
Thanks, Gary. I talked to Coach Tommy Dempsey for Binghamton at the beginning or coming into the half, and he told me about Sam Sessoms and his ability to find open shots beyond the arc. He told me that he was looking to try to switch him onto the bigs for UMBC and look for them to keep doing that in the second half. Back over to you guys.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments UMBC makes to Sessoms, and as you heard Coach Dempsey talk about, what kind of things they do to keep getting Sessoms open.
UMBC first with the ball here in the second half, 10 to shoot now. Starting five back in for both teams. Here's Jackson with penetration. The kick out for Idle Rock. Wing three, and that one is a brick off the side of the rim, out of bounds. It'll go over to Binghamton.
And you've already seen the adjustment, first possession for Binghamton, as immediately when the ball went into Horvath, they double-teamed him quickly to force him to get the ball out to the wing.
You know, we made mention of UMBC's 5-game winning streak and the fact that Ryan Odom has his team once again playing well down the stretch. This really has been a theme in the last 3 years.
Yeah, blocked by Horvath there. Great job there. Yeah, absolutely, Gary. 9 of 10 last year. And really, Coach Odom, you know, here's the thing. Your team's not always going to play well. You're going to struggle through certain periods of time. How about Horvath? Horvath on both ends gets the block on one end and then the big finish on the other. But you're going to struggle. So you have to keep your head up. You have to keep grinding. And you can never give up. And I think that's one of the biggest things character-wise we've seen from Ryan Odom basketball teams is no matter what happens, they're not ever going to quit. And they're going to keep battling you until the buzzer sounds.
Horvath, the junior now with 7 points for UMBC. Rebound Akin off the miss. To your point, the Retrievers have won 5 in a row this year. They won 9 of 10 in a key stretch last year. Horvath with a bomb. That one is high. And the rebound comes down to Binghamton, Caldwell. And then in the championship year 2 years ago, they also won 9 of 10 heading into the NCAA tournament.
And that's what you always talk about in basketball, Gary, especially in college basketball, is you want to play your best basketball towards the end of the season. And it's exactly what they've done the last 3 years.
LJ Owens commits the foul for UMBC, and Caldwell will go to the line for Binghamton. Richard Caldwell is a 69% free throw shooter, averaging 7.9 per game. He is cousins with Eddie Jordan. That is a name that basketball fans will know. Former great at Rutgers, coached in the NBA for a long time, I think 15, 17 years, with the Wizards as well. Caldwell for the second of 2. And he'll have to settle for 1 for 2.
We've seen the ball rattle in and out on that basket on a couple occasions here tonight. Great hands by Sessoms there as he reached around Horvath as he went by and created the steal.
Yeah, he really does it all. Three-pointer on the wing. That is a beautiful shot from Caldwell. 38 apiece after the 3 from Richard Caldwell, who all of a sudden has 9 in the game.
Just can't tell you how impressed I am with the way Binghamton runs their offense.
Can't tell you how impressed I am with their demeanor coming off that 24-point, well, they had a 24-point lead against Hartford and lost on Saturday. But you can't tell by the way they're playing tonight. Owens fouled, not in the act. It'll be on the floor, but it bails him out with 3 seconds.
It bails him out, and also it's Sarr's 3rd foul. And Sarr just can't commit those kind of fouls out away from the basket. Here's the replay, good ball fake. And really wasn't even a ball fake by Owens. He just kind of moved his shoulder, and Sarr just came at him undisciplined in the air, and now he's gonna have to come out of the game.
He does. Checking back in is J.J. Brown, the junior from Toronto, Ontario. Was a national prep champion at Southwest Christian Academy in Texas. Ball in for UMBC. Here's Jackson on a drive. Back to Owens, 5 to shoot. Jackson alone for 3.
One of those jumpers that KJ's got to make down the stretch.
Rebound Sessoms.
He's had trouble with those all season.
Not sure what Sessoms wanted to do with that one, but it ended up right in the hands of Horvath. Jackson can't finish inside the lane, keeps it alive.
We talked about this before. Retrievers getting second chance opportunities. Hartford did it against them last game. And here right away we see in the second half, Horvath goes right back to work again.
Brandon Horvath is a man possessed underneath. That's his 9th rebound for UMBC.
He needs to finish that shot right there, but he does a nice job keeping it alive and then gets grabbed. And they're gonna have to fix that net, right?
I would think so. The foul's on Mills, that's his first. There's a look at the net. Brandon Horvath last week against Albany, 14 points, 16 rebounds. He's got 9 tonight. And right now, 10th in the conference at 6.5 per game. His best overall season this season as a junior.
Oh, good pass.
Nice look underneath. Horvath converts.
Mismatched Horvath on Sessoms. And that's a nice ID there by Owens to find him underneath.
9 for Horvath. We'll mark that one. It's a 2-point lead for UMBC. And right back the answer from Brown. First 2.
Sessoms again with a great penetration and the dish for the easy 2.
4th assist for a guy who averaged just under 5 per game. Tied up again at 40. Kick out for Jackson. He'll take it. Jackson converts.
So it's like Bizarro World with KJ. He misses the wide open 3. The defender closes him out, makes him move off his spot, but he knocks that one down.
Jackson with the step back, and Tinsley with the answer. 9 for the freshman.
Every time the Retrievers make a statement, Binghamton has an answer right now.
Binghamton averages 9.5 threes per game. They're 9 for 16 tonight with 15:45 left. Akin, trip along the baseline.
Stepped on the baseline.
Stepped on the line. And a timeout on the floor. 15:42 left in this one. Hey, don't go anywhere. We got a lot of basketball to play. KJ Jackson hot from outside. Are you a former America East student athlete, and do you want to stay connected with other America East alums? Well, join the America East Alumni Network today at americaeast.com/alumni network, or check out the America East Alumni Network pages on LinkedIn and Facebook. Good basketball game here at the Event Center, as the Retrievers and the Bearcats of Binghamton are tied at 43. Dmitry Spazoyevich yet to check in here in the second half, but that first half was huge for him, 12 off the bench. And take a look at some of the action around the conference tonight.
Crazy stuff going on. How about UMass Lowell up on Albany, and Hartford big right now at Stony Brook, as seeding is up in the air. And we talked about it. And talked about being a number 2 seed if you're UMBC. Well, you know, that's happening right now. Hartford defeating Stony Brook, so Stony Brook would have their 5th loss. If the Retrievers could pull the win here against Stony Brook at the end of this season, win out, they would slide into that 2 seed if they win the rest of their games.
And who would have thought of that a month ago? Retrievers were 9th out of 9 and struggling at 2 and 6. Tinsley for 3 is fouled by Jackson. And George Tinsley, the freshman.
Let's take a look at KJ here.
He got him
on the hand. Got him on the release on the hand.
Tinsley, a 69% free throw shooter coming in. First in the NCAA, I'm talking about the country, in minutes per game, 38.3. He's played 40 minutes plus 9 times this year. And he's the top scoring freshman in the America East at better than 11 points per game. Tinsley for the 3rd of 3. That foul on Jackson, by the way, is his first. He converts all 3. Tinsley with 12 points, and the Binghamton Bearcats lead by 3. Good defense. Idle Rock trying to penetrate, but Brown was there. Now 10 to shoot for UMBC. Idle Rock with the take.
Good pass inside.
Straight away for Jackson. Misses off to the right. Horvath again with the rebound and the putback and a trip to the line.
I think this one might be on Tinsley. Actually, they're going to call it on Mills.
Another offensive rebound for Horvath. So Brandon Horvath with 11. He's got 10 rebounds, another double-double. Again, he had 16 rebounds the other night against Albany. Tinsley now with his 3rd foul. So Sarr with 3 and Tinsley with 3.
Now, Tinsley did not get that foul. It was on number 2, I believe.
So we'll check that. It is on Mills.
So Mills picks that one up. He's got 2 now as well. And it was again, another ticky-tack call on really just very little contact on both sides to get those 2 fouls here early in this second half.
And we're all tied up again at 46. Our 6th tie. There have been 4 lead changes in this game. Fall-away jumper by Sessoms won't go. UMBC the other way. Here's Idle Rock now. Crossover by Jackson. Ocken couldn't handle it, and it's picked off by Tinsley.
Well, it's a great pass, except they always tell you it's not a good pass if the guy waiting for the pass wasn't ready to catch it. And that's what happened to Dan Ocken there.
Horvath picks it up off the glass. Rebound number 12.
Great rebound for Horvath there.
Horvath on the offensive end. Rebound, Ocken! Counted and a foul!
Now the Retrievers are going to work on the glass. Here's a replay. Good rebound and a definite grab there by Caldwell inside on the putback.
That is the 10th offensive rebound for UMBC, 3 for Binghamton. And the Retrievers will have to settle for a 2-point lead.
What a game, huh?
Retrievers out-rebounding Binghamton overall, 28-22. Sessoms decides to dish it off to Brown, can't convert, rebound Ocken. Oh, good feed out of the low post, or the high post, I should say. And a foul underneath.
Well, Mills got his money's worth that time.
3 on Mills. Yeah.
Here we go.
That's a good way to put it.
Watch this one. Definitely made sure that Ocken wasn't going to finish, although we'll say this, he did get a lot of ball.
Got a lot of Ocken, too. Dan Ocken at the line for UMBC. Again, not his strength. 3 points, 5 rebounds. He's 1 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. A junior from London, England, missed most of last year with a knee injury, but has come back strong in 2020. Substitution, checking in, Pierre Sarr back in the game. Sitting down is Brown for Binghamton. Second of 2 here for Ocken.
There we go.
It's a 3-point lead.
His form is much better in this whole new catch and shoot scenario. I think it's just sometimes he's a little too hard on the release.
Ocken tonight, 14 minutes, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Here's Sarr taking on Ocken. Rejected by Ocken. Another one rejected by Horvath. And here comes Jackson the other way. 2 on 2. Jackson all the way. No good. And a foul called on the Bearcats.
Well, Sessoms tried to commit that foul in the backcourt as he got into Jackson to try to stop play, but they let him play on. And then nice job splitting the 2 deep. And how about that block by Horvath? You saw Sessoms with the grab there. They let him play on, and then right there, you see the reach in and the foul, and just couldn't finish there for KJ.
That's 3 on Caldwell. Foul situation. Again, Binghamton, 16 fouls. Next one puts UMBC in the bonus. The Retrievers have committed only 2.
UMBC really has made a point of going to the basket and finishing, and then also on the offensive glass, just the inability for Binghamton to rebound has put them in some bad spots, committing fouls on putbacks.
Jackson now with 12. It's a 4-point lead. Yarmelson will check back in for Binghamton. Mills will sit down. There's 13 minutes left in the game, and 4 Bearcats have 3 fouls. Caldwell, Mills, Sarr, and Tinsley.
And 7 minutes into this half, the Retrievers in the bonus.
Retrievers shooting 66% from the free throw line tonight. Here's Sessoms on a drive, tries to wheel a pass across the paint. It's picked off by UMBC, and Jackson can't convert, but the putback by Owens.
That's great hustle by L.J. Owens to get down the floor. And all the Retrievers beat Binghamton down the floor for that bucket.
5 points for L.J. Owens, the transfer from William and Mary. And a steal by Horvath. He can do it all. And it'll stay with UMBC.
Sarr's lucky he didn't pick up number 4. You know, usually when you reach in like that, regardless of whether you get the ball or not, they usually blow the whistle and call the foul. Sarr very lucky they didn't that time. And you can see Ryan Odom kind of questioning that at this point.
It's a 10-0 run for UMBC in the last 2:27. Ocken stripped underneath by Tinsley, picked up by Idlerock. Retrievers have it. Ocken is fouled by Sessoms, and it looks like Sessoms may have gotten the worst of it. He's favoring his arm.
Yeah, favoring that left arm.
We'll take a look underneath.
And then just a scrum, good job by Idlerock, good strong win of the ball, and then Sessom reaches down. You can see Sam just kind of got him hard with either the hand or the wrist. Yeah, maybe that thumb.
It is his thumb. Ocken at the free throw line.
And it is his left thumb, it looks like.
Yeah, he's bending over right now at the opposite three-point line. 1 of 2 for Ocken, and it's the largest lead of the night for UMBC. A 10-0 run, making an 11-1 run over the last 2:33. Binghamton 0 for their last 5 from the field. They haven't scored in 3 minutes. Corner pocket 3, and that'll break the drought. Credit Caldwell with the bucket. And that's 12 for Caldwell, and a timeout by Tommy Dempsey. Richard Caldwell, a 33% three-point shooter, makes it a 5-point game. 12 minutes exactly left in this one. UMBC by 5. Defense first for UMBC. And they keep it alive. We've got a tight one here at the UMBC Event Center with the Retrievers leading the Bearcats by 5. 6 lead changes and 5 ties. And there you see the foul trouble that Binghamton is still in with 12 minutes to play.
Yeah, Caldwell, Sarr, and Mills all with 3. Caldwell just a huge three-pointer from the corner there to end that drought for Binghamton and get them back in this game. And we'll see what happens out of this timeout. Let's see if Tommy Dempsey doesn't put some sort of press on or something, or mix up his defense a little bit to try to do something different to UMBC on this offensive possession.
Binghamton shooting 53% from the three-point line, 10 for 19, but shooting only 40% overall. The Retrievers have held 4 of their last opponents under 60 points in this 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, I'm watching Sam Sessoms. He's still really favoring that left thumb.
Dmitry Spazoyevich for the first time here in the second half. Remember, he had the big first half off the bench with 12 points on 4 for 4 from the field and 4 for 4 from the line. And there is Sessoms favoring that thumb that you just talked about. He is scoreless here in the second half.
Well, the Retrievers have really got up on and bodied him well, and when he's penetrated, they've kind of sloughed off a little bit and kind of closed out the passing lanes.
Ball in for UMBC. Spazoyevich draws a quick double team, but they come out of that. Jackson looking underneath for Spazoyevich, instead goes to Idle Rock, and that'll be out of bounds off UMBC and another timeout. 11:40 left in this one. And the Retrievers, after 20 more seconds, still leaded by 5. And down the stretch they come here in the America East. Now time to look at the road ahead for both UMBC and Binghamton. First for the Bearcats on the road at New Hampshire.
Yeah, fighting for that last playoff spot. They're currently even in wins with Maine, but have one more loss, so they have to find a win somewhere. And Gary, if they win both games, if they beat UMBC here tonight and then win at New Hampshire, they have a shot to slide up past UMass Lowell if Lowell loses out. So some variables for them. Of course, at Maine for UMBC and versus Stony Brook, and we talked about the scenarios. If all holds as it is now, Gary, and Hartford knocks off Stony Brook tonight and the Retrievers win out, Retrievers would be in position to get that number 2 seed.
Bench points tonight, UMBC 28, Binghamton 14 in a 5-point game. Ball in for the Bearcats now with less than 12 minutes to go in this one. Oh, beautiful. Pierre Sarr on a feed from Sessoms.
Big shot there for Sarr.
Sarr now with 5. It's a 2-point game. LJ Owens tries to answer. Rebound pulled down by Sessoms. Sessoms been held scoreless here in the second half. Still, after that 3-point miss, Horvath with the rebound. Number 14. He's 2 away from his career high, which he set last week. KJ Jackson left open from 3. Horvath tries to keep it alive. Tipped out and into the hands of Caldwell. Caldwell with the drive and the score, and we're tied at 54.
And it's just like that, a 7-point lead gone, 8-point lead gone, and that's because UMBC settling now for threes, and they've lost track of getting the ball in the paint.
Richard Caldwell with 14 points. The Retrievers just 5 for 21 from 3-point distance. The floater by Idle Rock is no good. 1 and done as Sarr pulls it down for Binghamton. And Binghamton now on a run, 8-0 over the last 140. They pulled even. And now they're in the lead. Saar from 3. 8 points for Saar. Back and forth we go. 7 ties, 6 lead changes. 10 minutes to go. Horvath the dish. And Spasojevic will go to the line.
Sessoms again.
That'll be 2 on Sessoms. Take a look.
Clear foul, and again he comes down hard. And this time I think it was that right hand he went and got it with. Should be a 2-shot foul.
It's the 8th team foul for Binghamton. The Retrievers have committed only 2. The Retrievers have committed only 6 fouls in the game. And that's the first miss for Spasojevic tonight. Keandre Kennedy checks back in. LJ Owens will sit down. Kennedy, the transfer from Labette Community College in Kansas, a native of Atlanta. Retrievers have 5 transfers on the team this year. We haven't even talked about the injuries that the Retrievers have accumulated over the course of time. And Spasojevic misses both free throws. That's big, trailing by 3.
Sessom just got over the timeline there in the 10 seconds.
Horvath high for the rebound. That's number 15. Back to the injuries. Arkel Lamar, a starter at forward, out for the year. Max Curran, a starter at forward, out for the year. As Spasojevic comes down wrong and immediately goes to the...
Saar picks up number 4. Spasojevic is still favoring that left ankle.
Hit the floor hard.
Don't take the shoe off, Demetrier. Don't take the shoe off.
Let's watch it. See how he comes down.
Oh, yeah, he rolled it. Yep.
I think he comes down on...
he came on Saar's foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
The left foot came down on Saar's foot. And Spasojevic just shook his head. He can't go. I think he's going to have to come out of the game.
He was going to come out of the game anyway.
Right, with the shoe off.
He was coming out of the game anyway. Akin was at the scorer's table.
Right, but Spasojevic was going to shoot free throws.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Now, is he going to shoot the free throws? That's the question.
Clock stops with 9:29 left. Retrievers now trailing by 3.
And Gary, what's the rule here? If Spasojevic doesn't shoot free throws, does Tommy Dempsey pick?
I think they pick
anyone else who was on the floor, right?
I believe so. Meanwhile, Binghamton on a 11-0 run. That foul on Saar is number 4. UMBC has a scoring drought of 2:55. Spasojevic, as you see, will go right to the locker room.
Well, I mean, question becomes, ankles are tricky. If you take the shoe off, then usually the ankle blows up. If you don't take the shoe off, you try to walk it off a little bit. Sometimes that helps, but we'll see how this all plays out with Spazo as the training staff heads back with him.
Horvath at the free throw line. 13 points now to go with 15 rebounds. Another double-double for Brandon Horvath. Second of 2 for the junior. That one uses the front rim and in, so it's a 1-point game.
So instead now of Akin coming in, a smaller lineup down for UMBC.
3-guard setup with Kennedy, Idlerock, and Jackson.
Only 4 if you count Kennedy.
Sessoms with a strong move with the left. That's his first points in the second half, 18.
Still really favoring the left hand now.
Nice ball inside for Horvath! And he'll go to the line to try to tie it up. Take a look here, running the floor, Brandon Horvath. He never really got a good handle on it, but still,
no, he didn't.
Willed it in.
And Sam, after he hit the deck, after he finished on the other end, raced back defensively. And now Sessom's going to come out of the game.
That's 3 fouls on Sessoms.
Yeah, but it's more, I think, about his injury situation. They want to make sure he's okay.
Horvath has put up some numbers, 16 and 15 tonight, trying to complete the three-point play. Does not, and it's a one-point lead for Binghamton. Retrievers now just 13 for 22 from the free throw line in this game, 59%.
No big points right there, right?
They are. Spasojevic missed a couple a second ago. Of course, Akin has had his troubles. And here's a nice turn on the baseline by Caldwell, who draws the foul. Foul will be called on Jackson. That's number 1. Only the third team foul in the second half.
Retrievers now, the good news is that they're in the double bonus now.
They go quickly baseline for Tinsley with a nice touch. And Tinsley gives them a three-point lead. George Tinsley now with 14.
It's a great step-back jumper from the short corner by Tinsley there.
Owens driving on Yarmelson. Idle Rock gets a screen up top from Horvath. Can't convert. Rebound. Up and in! Brandon Horvath owns the offensive glass.
And he's having himself a night tonight, isn't he? I couldn't have called that on Tinsley.
I believe they did.
Well, Tinsley wasn't even near the play.
Another look here is Horvath now.
Should have been on Mills. It is on Mills, not Tinsley. That's Mills' 4th.
18 and 16 for Brandon Horvath.
Gonna try to go 20-20 tonight, huh?
Last retriever to do 20-20, I'm sure you remember. It was actually 30-20. Horvath converts.
That'd have to be Terrace Lyles,
Terrace
right?
Lyles against the Citadel. First Ryan Odom year, 16-17. Every Binghamton starter now has at least 3 fouls. Sessom back in the game. Good look for Tinsley underneath. They pass out of that. Caldwell for 3 on the wing. That's wide. Rebound. Let's see. Yarmelson pulls it down and keeps it alive for the Bearcats.
Nice work. Nice work there on the offensive glass. This one's going to be a battle all the way to the end, Gary.
No doubt. Sessoms. Oh, what a pass that is. Long on the 3, though. Offensive rebound comes down to Mills. Tinsley, no! Still alive from Tinsley. What a possession. Mills all the way. And really give Binghamton a lot of credit there.
Horvath had that last rebound and it got knocked out of his hands.
The Bearcats will not go away in a tie game. The first foul on Idle Rock back after this. Heck of a basketball game here. It tied at 61. Let's take a look at our Hercules Tires strong move of the game.
Great finish by Horvath. A little spin into the paint and a nice finish with the left hand. With Spasojevic out with the injury, Horvath has taken over in the interior. 14 points and, 19 points and 16 rebounds.
Quite a performance, and the strong move of the game brought to you by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength. And right now, UMBC's strength is underneath. They only have 5 made three-point field goals tonight, but it was Spasojevic in the first half with 12, and then Brandon Horvath has just taken over for UMBC.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's been on the offensive glass. Once again, as we saw in the Hartford game for Binghamton, they've had troubles on the glass on the defensive end, but to their credit in this last possession, they got 4 shots at it, and that earned Mills a line or a shot at the free throw line to take the lead back.
11 offensive rebounds for UMBC, 5 for Brandon Horvath among his 16 for the game. What a basketball game for Brandon Horvath, the junior from West River, Maryland. At the free throw line is Mills, and he uses every inch of that rim and glass to break the tie. And it's a 2-point lead for the visitors.
It's a huge possession for Binghamton. It was a tie game. Couldn't get anything to go down, but they kept fighting, and they get the lead back.
Retrievers led by as many as 8 midway through the second half. Three-pointer chucked up by Idle Rock. Rebound Binghamton.
Spasojevic on the UMBC bench. Not sure what his availability is for the rest of the game.
Idle Rock now 2 for 11 in the game. 1 of 5 from downtown. Big possession here for Binghamton. Sessoms unconscious over Kennedy.
There's no defense for that.
21 for Sam Sessoms. 5 three-pointers tonight. It's a 5-point lead for Binghamton. Idle Rock with the pivot. Came up short on the jumper.
A good defense by Caldwell there on Idle Rock. And right now, UMBC ice cold.
And all of a sudden, this basketball game has taken on a much different turn. There's Caldwell from Sessoms inside. Horvath stays with him. 9 to shoot, turnover. Nice movement there by Jackson to get in the passing lane. Here's Owens. Kick out, Jackson, open 3. Got it!
Oh, big time shot by KJ Jackson. And how many times have we seen this in the last 3 or 4 games?
Jackson with 15, he's hooping tonight. It's a 2-point lead for Binghamton.
3rd steal of the night as well on the defensive end.
Jackson had 4 threes against Vermont on Saturday, 3 more here tonight. Sessoms leaning in, scoring the basketball, and drawing the foul. 23 for Sam Sessoms.
Well, this time the Retrievers back off and slough off defensively, thinking that Sessoms might pass, but instead he just keeps going, draws the foul, and gets the bucket.
2 on Jackson. Quite an answer from Sessoms off the Jackson 3. Let's see if Sessoms can earn it the old-fashioned way. Yarden Willis will check in after the Sessoms make, and Caldwell will sit down. Willis had 2 quick fouls in the first half and hadn't seen any action since. Just 2 minutes in that first half. Retrievers still trailing by 5 with 5:47 left. And Willis picks up number 3, and that'll send Akin to the line.
Maybe intentionally there. That's a smart play. I mean, if you're Tommy Dempsey, you send Willis into foul, and you force Akin to make free throws. That's away from the ball. That's a pretty smart play.
And as you mentioned that, Tommy Dempsey gives him a 5 on the way back. Now they're keeping, well, let's see, they're keeping Willis in the game. So they got 6 guys on the floor right now, so they don't allow the substitution. Oh, they're going to wait for the free throws, at least the first one. Now the substitution. Caldwell checks in. Akin 3 for 8 from the free throw line tonight. 5 misses in a 5-point deficit. 6 misses in a 5-point deficit.
And it's an empty possession. It's a brilliant play by Dempsey to get Akin to the line.
mean, he's never been a great free throw shooter, but never this poor. Up top, Caldwell left open straight away, short. Offensive rebound, Binghamton. Mills. Coming up on 5 minutes left in this one. Sessoms. Short and over the glass. The ball goes over to UMBC.
Let's see what happens here. Kennedy comes out.
Looks like Akin will come out as
Kennedy
well.
came out as well. They need to let Kennedy know that he's still in.
So
they
Idle Rock
had no
comes in.
choice. You had to take him out of the game. And now the Retrievers go really small. 4 guards. And Brandon Horvath.
Akin was a career 39% free throw shooter coming into the season. He's below that this year. Owens inside for Kennedy, and a blocking foul is called. That should negate the shot.
Oh, it doesn't count. 4th foul on Sessoms, too. Sessoms is saying he got hit in the face. The referee's going to take a look at this. It looked like he got hit with the elbow in the neck area, and I don't think it's intentional.
Referee comes over here. They're going to review what are they reviewing?
No, they're
exactly?
reviewing. They're going to review the elbow.
Clock stops with 4:49 left in this one. So the referees will take a look. If it stands, it'll be 4 on Sessoms, I believe.
And we've seen in the past, I'm not sure there's I don't know. Well, we'll see what they rule. But in the past, we've seen them change the foul too, right? We saw that earlier in the season on a call where they changed the foul call. They called the blocking foul on Sessoms originally. You see the turn there. Now, and I don't know. See, I think the ruling on the floor by the officials that Sessoms didn't give, you have to give the opposing player space to catch the ball, and you have to give him his space. And I'm thinking the original call was saying that Sessoms didn't give him that personal space, but is there an elbow there, and is there a flagrant foul on Kennedy? That's what they're looking at. It's a big call in the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
big decision here with 4:49 left. Let's take one more look here.
I mean, you could go one way where you make 2 free throws and it'd be a 1-possession game, to the other way where it would be a 3-possession game with 2 free throws, and Binghamton would get the ball.
Referees have looked at the monitor. They're conferring now. "21 personal fouls have been called on Binghamton, 9 against UMBC in this game. I don't think I've ever seen
that kind
a
of
wider
disparity.
margin. Yeah. Good crew here tonight. John Floyd, Alfred Smith, King Whetstone doing their job, mulling it over. And again, big call here with a 5-point lead for Binghamton, 4:49 left. And a possession swing in the balance. There's Sessoms dabbing at his
It's been a rough night for
chin.
Sam, huh?
Had the thumb, had the foot, now the chin. We're talking about Dmitry Spasoyevich came off the floor as he rolled his ankle. He's now on the side of the UMBC bench, actually on the sideline, riding the bike. There he is. So don't know if he can come back, but at least he's keeping warm.
We're talking to both coaches. And it looks like it is going to be.
It'll be Binghamton ball. Here comes the official over here. You see him lower right. Paul Mittermeier gets all the info. Looks like it'll be against UMBC.
All right, so they went to the monitor, they looked and they reviewed, no flagrant. It's a common foul, but it's an offensive foul on Kennedy, not on Binghamton. I talked about the personal space, they call it the cylinder. And the original ruling was that the defender was in the cylinder, but when they went and reviewed the play, he was not. So therefore, the offensive foul was on Kennedy.
2 fouls now on Kennedy. Possession, more importantly, for Binghamton. That's the 16th foul on UMBC. Three-pointer from the wing near side by Mills, no good, out of bounds off Binghamton. UMBC ball, that's a big stop.
A good box out by Adderall. Retrievers have gone stone cold offensively here late in the second half. And here comes Spazojevich to the scorer's table.
Spazojevich again rolled that ankle about 5 minutes ago in game time. Horvath open from three. That's long, offensive rebound and in for Jackson.
I would immediately say that UMBC's got to make some threes, but when they don't, they get offensive glass and score. So Binghamton's got to do a much better job on the glass.
17 for Jackson, 0 for 5 for Horvath from downtown. He's a 40% three-point shooter coming in. Steal.
Yeah, it changed the D there, it went zone.
Jackson will slow it down with less than 4 minutes to go.
Oh, men's match here, Horvath on Sessom.
Passes out of it. And too high, Owens steps on the line.
Timeout.
3:41 left in this one. That's the 11th turnover for UMBC in this game. What a windup coming your way from the event center. Binghamton by 3. Back after this. The free throw shooting woes continue for UMBC. They were 9 for 17 in a 4-point loss against Binghamton, 13 for 27 in a 5-point loss to New Hampshire, and another 9 for 17 in a 4-point loss to Albany. And Paul, they're 14 of 25 in a 3-point game here tonight.
You can't get those points back. And you know, I've always thought they should maybe change that rule. If you miss 2 free throws, that should count as a turnover, right? Because it's an empty possession and you get nothing out of it. But I don't know if they'll ever change that rule or not. We saw earlier in this half too, Binghamton foul Dan Ocken intentionally, but not not intentionally, but away from the ball that allowed Ocken to go to the line, and the Retrievers came with an empty possession there.
Big possession here for the Bearcats, nursing a 3-point lead. KJ Jackson 5th in the conference in assists. None tonight. He's got 17 points on the offensive end.
Retrievers stay in the 1-3-1.
Sessoms penetrates. Here's Sarr now. Good hands by Jackson. Contested 3 in the corner is short. Ocken pulls it down, UMBC. Big stop.
Well, good hands by Ocken to get low on that basketball and win it underneath the basket. Retrievers need to find a way to get in the paint.
Spazojevich did not come back in the game, by the way. He has not returned since he rolled the ankle. 10 to shoot. Jackson for 3. Ocken fighting hard, but Sarr pulls it down. Oh, good look underneath. Tinsley gets a couple guys up, and Ocken commits the foul. What a look from Sessoms.
Great pass by Sessoms. Great ball fake by Tinsley to lose not one defender, but 2. First one there. Jackson flies by. Second one, and then Ocken makes sure he's going to have to earn it at the free throw line.
First foul on Aachen. Both teams now in the bonus. Retrievers are in the double bonus. Tinsley, a cool customer. 68% coming in. Here's Spazojevich now, as Aachen will sit down. Spazojevich had 12 points in the first half, but he's been held scoreless in the second and has missed some time with that ankle. Tinsley for the second of 2. The Bearcats lead by 4. Make it 5.
Spazojevich missed a couple of free throws as well in the second half.
Retrievers are just 8 for 16 in the second half from the free throw line. Here's Horvath all the way. Throws it down! 21 for Horvath.
We've seen it time and time again when the Retrievers make a commitment to get it into the post. It's all UMBC.
It's a 3-point game with just over 2 minutes to go. Sessoms. Mills. Horvath!
Again, Retrievers need to find the post.
UMBC with 3 timeouts left. Binghamton with 2.
Remember, SAR has 4.
Horvath. A foul on the floor.
They're going to make Horvath go to the line here. I think Tinsley picked up his 4th.
Brandon Horvath, career high 22 points against Centenary. That foul is on Tinsley, number 4.
There's the replay of the dunk. That's a great move to the basket by Brandon Horvath. You know, if he could put on about 15 or 20 pounds, he could be an absolute monster in his senior year. And he's got that, you know, I'm not going to compare the two, but he's got the same abilities that a Jalen Smith does, where he can step out and shoot the 3 and also dominate inside if he could put some weight on.
Horvath for the second of 2. A career high 23 points now for Brandon Horvath, and we've got a 1-point game with 1:45 left.
Retrievers 4 straight to get this one tight.
23 points, 17 rebounds, both career highs for Brandon Horvath. Here's Sessoms now with Horvath, about 30 feet from the basket, 35. Sessoms going to try to break him down. Yarmelson. The kick out, the floater is no good. Rebound, Horvath.
We'll talk to Coach Dempsey about late game situations. He said a lot of times these guys look to Sessoms because they just think he's the best option. But, you know, they got to understand that all the defense goes to him, so somebody else has to step up. You saw Caldwell get kind of in the lane there, but couldn't finish and couldn't score.
A timeout, UMBC. And how many times have we seen in the Ryan Odom tenure, Paul, and we've been here the whole time, these America East Conference games, especially coming down to the wire here at home?
You know, Gary, look at this conference and look at this team like Binghamton. I mean, they're so talented, and they're like looking at a situation where they may not even make the tournament because, you know, you have a 1-point loss here, you blow a 20-point lead, you know, you just didn't do this little thing or that little thing. That's how close the competition is right now in this conference.
And again, we talked about the psychological profile of these two teams coming in. Binghamton suffered a heartbreaking loss at home to Hartford by 1. They led the Hawks 26-2 at the beginning of that game and blew it all. Meanwhile, UMBC, a heart-stopping 66-64 win at Vermont, capping a 2-game road trip at Albany in Vermont. They were sky high coming in.
And I'll tell you, the danger thing for Binghamton is not getting into that mindset of, oh no, here it goes again.
Correct.
You just have to keep fighting and keep playing.
22 on the shot clock here for UMBC. Spazojevich up top, Jackson, open 3. Jackson hits it! UMBC by 2! 1 minute to go!
Caldwell went to double team Spazojevich and fell down, and that allowed Jackson the space to knock down the 3. It's 7 straight for the Retrievers, and the event center's rocking.
20 for KJ Jackson. It's the second consecutive game he's hit 4 3-pointers.
No, that's just a big-time shot right there. from a big-time player. You see Caldwell fell down, never able to recover back to Jackson, and he knocks down the three.
Another look here from Jackson on the left wing. He's got the form. KJ Jackson only 7 for 17 from the field, but 4 of 8 from downtown.
He had the follow through with the wrist and the tongue. That's what happens when you make a three inside of a minute.
Looked like Wesley Snipes in White Men Can't Jump. I just saw it the other night. One of the all-time greats, let me tell you. Oh, man, yeah, we had a good view of that, didn't we? Tommy Dempsey, if you're him right now, as we see, what do you tell your team?
You're telling your team, look, let's run our offense. If you have an open three, take it. Don't rely on Sam to win the game. They're going to collapse the defense on him. That means that he's going to be able to get the ball to somebody else in a position to make a shot. You have to be ready as a player to knock that shot down.
UMBC on a 7-0 run over the last 134. Binghamton 0 for their last 6, 2 of their last 11. No field goals for Binghamton in the last 4 minutes, 57 seconds of this game.
Well, here's the deal. Unless you go quickly if you're Binghamton and go 2 for 1, the Retrievers are going to rebound. If they can rebound or take a ball out of the basket, they're going to get the last possession.
KJ Jackson just hit the big three. He's got 20 for the night. Jackson had 21 against Albany on the road last week, 18 against Vermont, 20 here at home.
And then the question is, if you're Binghamton, do you go 2 for 1 quickly?
Well, it doesn't look like it right now. Sessum's in control between the circles with 15 to shoot. That was partially deflected, I think, by Jackson. And it's going to be out of bounds. Which way?
They're going to look at it. It was, I believe, off of Horvath. I think Brandon tipped it.
Both teams will go to their bench while the referees take a look.
Brandon adamantly saying that it's UMBC ball. Maybe, let's see if it got knocked out of his hand.
Here we go.
Oh, well, I don't know if there's enough to review it. You did see the hand come in behind, but can you really tell who's it off of right here?
If I had to say, I would think it would be off Horvath.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's the call.
Hawkins saying you got to look at it. See if we. Oh, Mills, I don't know. That's an interesting look. If we can see that one more time, you see how kind of Mills gets his hand underneath. Take a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, that's definitely a good look right there.
That's the look. That's the look. Now, is there enough there to overturn?
I mean, you can see Horvath's hand. Would he have enough momentum where his hand was to push the ball that way? That's the question you have to look at as well. And they call it Binghamton ball.
I don't think we can understate how big this call is. And apparently it will stay with Binghamton with 41.8 left on the clock.
Yeah, that last angle, though, was a good angle there. And it kind of did look like it went off of Mills, but just not enough to overturn a call there.
There's Mills just battling with Horvath. It'll stay with Binghamton, 20 to shoot in a 2-point game.
And the other big thing, too, here is even if Binghamton doesn't make the shot, UMBC's going to have to make free throws down the stretch.
UMBC extending that defense to the three-point line. Here's Sarr way downtown. He got it! What a shot from Sarr, giving the Bearcats the lead.
Well, we talked about getting ready to shoot the basketball and be in position to score, and that's exactly what Sarr did there and knocked it down.
Pierre Sarr with 11 points. He's 3 for 3 from downtown. This is way downtown. Wow. Ice.
Well, big-time shot for Sarr.
The senior from the Senegal, the transfer from Monmouth, played 3 years there. He's a grad transfer, played for King Rice, who played at Binghamton High School. That's right, the King Rice, who played for Carolina, is a native of Binghamton. Sarr played for him. That was a James Arden three.
That's 14 threes for Binghamton, and it's not just, we talked about it in the open, it's not just Sessoms, but Sarr, Tinsley, and Caldwell all have 3 threes tonight.
That's 14 threes and 11 twos for Binghamton tonight.
And really, that's their game. But here's the question. Can the Bearcats stop the Retrievers on the post? And they haven't been able to all night. And if you're UMBC, how long do you wait before you run your offense, or do you go right away?
Well, you see the differential here between game shot and shot clock, or game clock and shot clock, I should say, 0.6. There's Jackson, just hit the big three for UMBC. Of course, if they go inside, Horvath, 23 points tonight, 18 rebounds, dominant performance. But right now, Binghamton has the lead with 27.6 to go. Ball in UMBC. Here we go. Another great finish at the event center. Spazojevich in the game as well. Horvath in the high post. Jackson with the drive, can't finish. Horvath, but it'll stay with UMBC. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
The other thing too here, if you're UMBC, if you don't get the shot to go, then you want to foul quickly, because even if they make free throws, you still have a shot at the other end.
And a timeout call by Ryan Odom.
And that's it for UMBC.
Meanwhile, Binghamton still has one. The Retrievers have both Spazojevich and Horvath in the game.
There's the drive by KJ, and the ball gets slapped out of. Same situation here. I don't think they're going to look at this. It's pretty clear the ball got slapped out of Horvath's hands, and luckily it did, because he was getting ready to go back up and finish.
Retrievers have played 8 in this game, but only 4 minutes from Council, 14 from Kennedy, so basically 6 players.
And really, that's the rotation that Ryan Odom has gone with. No Arkel Lamar. I did see Arkel out on the floor earlier tonight. No Darnell Rogers, no Max Curran, which really has upset their rotation. All that, and still, they're battling for a home game in the American East Tournament.
Jackson with 10 to shoot, basically 10 to play. KJ denied, scrum.
Foul call.
Binghamton basketball.
4 seconds left. Remember, no timeouts.
Take a look. Good block from Tinsley.
Yeah, Tinsley with a nice job defensively. And this is a 1-and-1. Although he did come hard with the arms. Wow, we've seen that called before.
Again, UMBC, no timeouts here. They've got to run the floor no matter what Binghamton does with the free throws. At the line, Caldwell. Retrievers with a 5-game winning streak.
Does he miss this on purpose?
We've seen it before. The answer is no. Retrievers got to run the floor, 76-73.
Oh, they saved before the shot.
Wow, foul called on Caldwell.
That was close.
Now 2.1 left to go. Remember earlier in the year, we saw KJ Jackson hit a three-pointer at the buzzer to keep the game alive against UMass Lowell. We'll take a look here.
Foul before he's in the air. That's good. It was close, though. He's going to make the first one and then intentionally miss the second and hope for the rebound.
Substitutions, they bring in Willis, their big 7-footer. And he, along with Sarr, will patrol the inside of the lane, closest to the basket. Second of 2 for Idle Rock, misses, rebound, no time, at the buzzer, whoa! I think they're gonna wave it off.
Well, first thing we'll talk about is where they wanted a foul on Horvath.
We'll have to re-rack that, I'm sure we will, but the handshake's all the way around, and so this one is over. A final. Binghamton has come in, upset UMBC 76-74.
Now, ball's out, ball's still in RJ Idle Rock's hands when the clock hits 0.
RJ wants the foul.
Well, he wants the foul. They wanted the foul on Horvath because Horvath clearly got fouled when he got the rebound. but they let them play, and it's a huge win for Binghamton here as they end UMBC's 5-game winning streak.
What a finish at the event center. Binghamton comes back. They only shot 1 for their last 8 from the field, but despite that, they come back from an 8-point deficit midway through the second half and eke one out here, 76-74, basically reversing what happened to them last game against Hartford.
A big-time shot by Sarr there. And, you know, we talked about that in the timeout. Find somebody who was going to be able to make a shot, and it was Sarr who stepped up big.
Tyler Haley has the winning coach. Let's go to him. Tyler?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Binghamton coach, Coach Dempsey. Coach, at the end of the game there, it came down to the wire there, and you guys were able to close out on top. Tell us how big of a game that this is for you.
Well, I mean, I think everybody had us dead and buried except us, you know, so I'm just so proud of my players. I mean, we had one of the toughest losses I've experienced in a long time on Saturday. We needed to win tonight, and to rally like we did. It was a big program win for us and just showed a lot of character to come in here and win in this environment.
Sam Sessions continued his great shooting performance tonight in the second half. Tell us just how his shooting ability has changed his team this season.
Well, you know, he's a guy that you want in the foxhole with you, and tonight was a foxhole game. And he showed up, and he got us off to a great start, and everybody thrives off of the confidence that he provides, and he came ready to play, and everybody else followed suit.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Back over to you guys.
Tyler, thank you. Congratulations, Coach Dempsey. Big win for the program, as he mentioned, off a heartbreaking loss against Hartford. And Sam Sessoms, 24 points. But the big bucket tonight, Pierre Sarr, the 3, and let's take a look at the result and what it means.
There you go. UMBC slips down to 4th place. Hartford in 3rd place now. Albany down, and New Hampshire, UMBC, Albany, all tied at 7-7. Huge game for Binghamton at New Hampshire coming up, and now UMBC has a challenge at Maine on Saturday before they come home to face Stony Brook on Tuesday.
Brandon Horvath, a career game tonight for UMBC, 23 points and 19 rebounds, both career highs, 38 minutes. KJ Jackson never left the floor tonight, 40 minutes for UMBC, 20 points and 2 for 2, I should say 4 for 8 from the three-point line. So that'll do it as the UMBC band plays on here at the Event Center. For Paul Mittermeier and Tyler Haley, I'm Gary Stein saying so long, where the final score is Binghamton 76 and UMBC 74. Saturday at 1 p.m., the Binghamton Bearcats play their last regular season game in New Hampshire, and UMBC will be playing their final road game against the University of Maine. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Once again, your final, a big win for the Bearcats. Binghamton 76, UMBC 74. So long from Baltimore. See you next time on ESPN+.